think he started changing is because his kids used to be young, and now we're adults and we have our opinions.
Kody Brown's days of being seen as a loving father have come to a screeching halt. His kids have recently spoken out about where they really stand with their dad, and it's going to leave you absolutely shocked. Obviously, a lot has changed since Sister Wives premiered in 2010. A huge difference now is that the 3 original wives have all left, and Kody's only remaining wife is Robyn. But there's been another major change in the Brown family since their early days, and it's seriously crazy. The strained relationships that Kody already had with his kids have taken an even darker turn. I didn't think the situation could get much worse from what we saw in the last 2 seasons, but it apparently has. Some of his kids recently opened up about how they currently get along with their dad, and what they had to say is honestly wild. According to Kody and Christine's daughter Gwen, watching her dad's behavior on Sister Wives has made her dislike him more than ever. She's been watching and discussing season 17 on her Patreon account and YouTube channel, and she definitely isn't holding back her true feelings. Gwen admitted during her reaction to episode 13 that she and Kody do not get along well at all, and they don't even talk anymore. I'm pretty sure people figured that she and her dad weren't exactly close before, but now she's seemingly taking a stand against him. She revealed another update about the family dynamic, and you'll never guess what it is. Gwen shared that her dad definitely prioritizes Robyn and her kids, which is really hard for her. Supposedly, he even accused Gwen of not being nice to Robyn during their last phone call, and he was on Robyn's side the whole time. But it turns out that Gwen is also upset by the startling way Kody has treated her siblings. During one of her reaction videos, Gwen was floored by Kody's refusal to go to Isabel's spine surgery, mostly because of his absurd excuse. He said the reason he couldn't go was because he couldn't be away from his family, which was insanely ironic. Gwen pointed out that if Kody had gone, he would have been with his family too, but apparently that wasn't how Kody saw that, which, let's be honest, isn't all that surprising at this point, even though it's still horrible. Allegedly, the topic of Robyn and her kids being Kody's favorite comes up a lot with Gwen and some of her other siblings because it still hurts them. And now almost all of them have made a similar shocking decision. The majority of Kody's 18 children are basically estranged from him and don't have any communication with him now. Gwen explained that aside from McKelty, her husband Tony, and Robyn's children, there just isn't much contact between Kody and his kids. I can't believe what she gave as another reason for the intense divide. Gwen claimed in her reaction video that Kody has definitely changed, and not for the better. She said that it was easier for him to talk to his kids when they were young because they could be manipulated more easily. They didn't have as many thoughts and opinions that clashed with Kody's, which we've seen is a sign of disrespect to him. But now that most of the children in the family are adults and have their own opinions, they're starting to see right through Kody's manipulation. I also think another reason why most of his kids have stopped talking to him is because of some of his own comments, which have honestly been a little alarming at times. Kody mentioned during the season 17 tell-all that his biggest fear was poverty. Gwen was really taken aback by that comment when she reacted to the episode, and her explanation was actually devastating. Gwen was in total disbelief that her dad's biggest fear was poverty, especially because he has 18 children. She figured he would be afraid of something happening to his kids, but Kody was seemingly more worried about money than his family, and it made Gwen question him even more. She explained that Kody isn't really involved in her life and questioned what his motives might be in the future if he ever decides to change that. I feel like it must be really painful for her to have to wonder something like that about her own father. And I'm sure it was also painful when she was recently snubbed by a few of her family members. This is pretty insane. In another of her YouTube videos, Gwen admitted that she had invited Robyn's kids to her engagement party in February, but none of them responded or showed up. She was hurt by being blown off, and I don't blame her, especially considering how close she used to be with Aurora. But that's not even the craziest part about Robyn's kids skipping the party. Gwen revealed that she still lives relatively close to Kody and Robyn's home in Flagstaff, which I'm guessing just makes their dismissal even worse. No wonder she felt like Robyn's kids had decided they didn't want to see her anymore. I think it's obvious that Robyn and Kody had something to do with their kids not going to Gwen's party, but that's not all. Gwen added that she basically never gets to see the kids at all anymore. Not even Solomon or Ariella. I can't believe how extreme the rift has gotten, but I think it's safe to say that it's not the children's fault. Gwen also said that if Kody and Robyn decide that she's not a safe person for their kids to be around, she can't change that. I don't think it's up to her to change anyway, since Kody seemingly takes zero accountability for the way he treats most of his family. Kody allegedly treats all of his kids, with the exception of Robyn's, like they can just be cast aside. Gwen confessed that it's so weird to her that he can seemingly push his kids away so easily, but she's not the only one to speak on that. Not too long ago, one of her siblings spilled even more tea about Kody's ridiculous behavior. Peyton recently dropped a Brown family bombshell during a live interview with blogger John Yates. He's never been shy about dishing the dirt on his family, but this revelation was absolutely bizarre. Peyton was allegedly surprised when his dad randomly reached out to him because of their tense relationship, but shortly after the phone call ended, he made an unbelievable discovery. While later speaking to his mom, Peyton was hurt when he found out that Kody had been doing everything in his power to silence his kids. I don't blame Peyton for feeling let down that the call was just about his dad's need for control, especially because what Kody was supposedly asking TLC to do is completely outrageous. According to Peyton, Christine had told him that Kody was super upset that his kids had been making negative comments about him online. He supposedly even went so far as to try to have TLC change their contracts to include a clause about it. That means there would have potentially been lawsuits involved, which is honestly mind-boggling to me. I'm seriously stunned that Kody would actually want to have his kids be sued for being open about how they feel about him. I don't think any of them have outright said anything harmful about anyone in the family that was untrue. In fact, it seems to me like most of the kids have been trying to tread lightly with their words so that they wouldn't jeopardize the future of the show. Allegedly, Christine told Kody that he couldn't control what his kids say about him and that he should try to earn back their love instead. Peyton also added that TLC didn't agree to the contract change that his dad wanted, but that's not all he said about Kody during the interview, not by a mile. At one point, Peyton was pretty angry as he revealed the other big reason for the family's changes. He confessed to John that there were many times that Robyn told Kody to do things for her kids. Eventually, Kody's favoritism for her and her kids became clear to the rest of the children in the family, which Paedon understandably felt incredibly heated about. Paedon claimed that when Kody talked about the sacrifices that he and Robyn had made, he was shocked. He said that there's only been one thing that his dad has actually given up over the years, and it's heartbreaking. Apparently, Paedon believes that Kody's only real sacrifice has been his kids. He added that other than Robyn's children, Kody hasn't been prioritizing any of the kids or their needs. We've seen plenty of evidence of that on the show, and last season was almost unbelievable. When Kody called Gabriel to ask him about COVID symptoms, he totally forgot about his birthday, which was just insane. Then again, at this point, I don't really expect him to do any better. Kody keeps blaming his kids for pretty much everything, even if he's the one at fault. And according to a source who spoke to In Touch, most of Kody's kids think their dad is being really selfish and untrustworthy. The insider revealed that they've been really supportive of each other, which I'm sure is an issue in Kody's eyes. After all, he seemingly wanted nothing to do with any of his family members who weren't actively obeying him and being respectful of his rules. I guess we'll just have to wait and see if Kody's relationships with his kids ever improve. But for now, it sounds like almost all of them have cut him off. Anyway, what do you guys think about all this? What do you think about how there's basically no communication between Kody and most of his kids now? Do you think there's any chance of that changing in the future? Let me know in the comments below.